name is Senlos Buhudi and welcome to my YouTube channel. One thing I'm going to ask you is that you subscribe, you like, you share, you comment. Please, 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 please. So I'm going to be vlogging. Yeah, I'm going to be vlogging. And then I'm also going to release a 3-part episode of my healing journey and spiritual journey. So please do join me. Please, please do join me. I can't wait. Hello everyone. My name is Tsenulo and welcome to my YouTube channel. So this is a 3-part episode of my healing journey, and I'm going to tell you what happened and all about it. And I have a couple of questions here which I will answer most definitely. And then so for those that don't know me, my name is Tsenulo Subukodi, but most people call me TS, so you can call me whichever one, TS or Tsenulo. And I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter, I'm a jazz musician, I'm a law graduate, and I'm a traditional healer as well. Yeah, so I wear a lot of hats, many hats. So yeah, so let's get started. But first of all, please like, subscribe, and share and comment, please. I will be replying to all your comments. So what's going to happen is that when you guys comment, you guys can also ask me questions, those that I did not answer or things that you really want to know. And then maybe on the next episode 2, that's when I will answer all the questions. Okay, so leading up to your stroke, did you have any indicators? So I'm gonna have to go way back before I had the stroke. So I don't know where to start. So when I was growing up, I was a very sickly child, like extremely sickly. I would fall sick any day whenever. My parents knew that I couldn't go to school most of the time. And I have landed in hospital. I have been really sick. But anyway, so when I grew up, I started having headaches, a lot of headaches. They would go and then they would come back. And I think when the calling really came, when I knew that I had a calling, I knew that the headache got so worse that half of my body would be numb, like half. I remember it was on the which side? The left side. It got numb. And when I experienced those headaches, I would have to sit down and literally just go through the headache, and then I would jump up again. But that headache was so massive that I could not do anything. I was cooking that day. I remember, I think it was the year 2020. Yeah, I was cooking that year, and I decided to leave the pots, go to my room and just sit down. It went on for about 5 minutes. My whole body was numb. And then when it went away, I noticed that this hand got really numb. I'm just like, what is going on here? What is going on here? And yeah, so till today I still have that numbness. And now that I know of a stroke, that really means that I had a mini stroke. So I was not aware that I had a mini stroke, but anyway, so I moved on and I got used to this pain. I tried taking neurobions and whichever vitamins that I could take just to take this pain away. It's still there anyway. So yes, so those are the type of sicknesses that I had before my stroke. So yeah. And then how did you realize something was wrong? Health issues before that contributed to your stroke? Yeah, it's just the headaches. And then I got also diagnosed with high blood, which did not make sense, but I started taking pills for it. And when I started taking pills for it, I would itch all over my body. My head would itch, like everywhere it would itch, but especially on my hair. And then I decided to go to the hospital for them to take a CTI scan. When I went there, they took it, and I was supposed to sleep over at the hospital. And then on that day, or afternoon rather, because it happened in the morning when I got admitted. Happened in the morning, the CT scan, and then in the afternoon, I just fainted. I just fainted, and that's when I nearly lost my life. You know, they literally had to go above and beyond. I fell on the bed and I couldn't see properly, I couldn't talk, I couldn't, you know, so apparently I was cold. I was cold. They tried to insert a drip, but no, I had no veins on my body, so that clearly means I was about to go. Anyway, what physical effects on your daily life did it result in? So many. First of all, I forget easily. I used to be a person that like forgets, but now it's worse. I would be talking to you now, and you know, and I would be thinking of something that I have to say, and as soon as you ask me what did you say, I would literally forget. You know, it's that. So it's like forgetfulness is just on another level. And then the other thing as well, my speech, I would slur in my speech. So you know, I did your speech therapy, but yeah, so this is where, you know, I've healed now, so I can't go anywhere else, and I can't do anything else about this journey, because now it's past the time. My brain can never really go back to normal. So my speech was slurred, especially when I didn't sleep and stuff like that. Sometimes I would not be making sense to a lot of people, you know, but yeah, so I think it really frustrates me, because I really love to talk. So half the time when people have a conversation, I would want to say something, but I'm just like, oh, I would be lazy to use certain words, because I know that once I try to say them, my speech would slur, you know. So it did kind of affect my confidence when I'm speaking to people. But I know it shouldn't, but it does. But I know it shouldn't, and it won't. I don't know, but I want to get rid of that, because honestly, I've overcome a lot, so I can't really be having like insecure and whatever. Nah. So basically, I'm sorry, I should have started with that. So yeah, so for those that don't know how my stroke happened. So I was working out in the morning. I was working out at home, and I was alone, and I was supposed to meet up with my manager on that day. I don't know if it is for rehearsal or what, but we were supposed to meet up on that particular day. And then I just knew that I'm gonna work out bath, and then we're gonna meet up. And then on that day, I had a massive headache. A headache where like I just cried. That's all I could do. And then I went, and then I bathed. I actually stopped the workout because I couldn't. I tried to run, I tried to do, you know, minimal exercises, but nothing would work. And then yeah, so I decided to bath, and then I just laid on the bed while I waited for him. But I know that I was supposed to tell him to come. But anyway, I laid on the bed, and then all of a sudden something just said to me that just look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself who you are. Literally, that's what happened. And then I went to the mirror, and I couldn't talk. And that was it. I'm like, my name is Tenul. I could not even say Tenul. Like, I just, literally, that's what was coming out of my mouth. And then I decided to text him. And when I texted him, I was not sure if it's him, because it actually took away my, you know, I couldn't read, I couldn't write, I couldn't, you know, but luckily by God's grace, I could actually talk to him. And then I tried to say to him, something is happening, you know, but he he didn't get it because I was literally speaking gibberish. Like didn't get it, but eventually he came. And then when he came and he told me, no, come down. And then, yeah, then, we went outside for maybe like fresh air would like work on me, whatever. And then, yeah, so, that stroke, I was not aware that I was having the stroke when I had that headache, because that headache was so intense. It was so intense that I cried. There's just something happening in your brain that you don't understand what's going. It's almost as if your brain is like shifting, but yeah, anyway. So what physical effects on your daily life? Okay, I think I answered that. I did. So what do you remember about the day you had a stroke? Take us through the day. Okay, I just did that now. And oh wait, so yeah, I had the stroke, and I cried, and then he decided to call my husband. So luckily my husband is a medical doctor. He contacted my husband, and my husband is like, no, like come, like, hurry up. And then my manager took me to my husband. When we got there, I was feeling so dizzy. At least I could walk. My mobility was, everything was on point. It was just the speech and the reading and the writing that was the problem. And then I decided to go into his office, and he had a patient, but at that point I really did not care, because I just felt I'm dying at Tlhokofala, and then luckily the patient got out, and then I got in, and then he's like, okay, go to the other room, and then he checked me, drips, whatever. He's like, no, maybe it's your high blood, I don't know, something's going on, and hand check our high blood, and then he's like, okay, no, it's so high. And then he gave me medication to just, drop it a little bit. And then what happened was, yeah, I was just crying half the time. And then I stayed for so long that he was actually about to knock off. And then he says to me, he's like, okay, let me look at your face. He was done with his other patients. He's like, okay, let me look at your face, And then he looked at my face. And then that's when he could tell that I had a stroke, So how was the rehabilitation process for you, and how long did it take you to recover? It did not take me long at all. Like, literally, I can vouch and say, probably, I couldn't speak for like a week or two, and then I started recovering just like that. But yeah, I went to see a speech therapist only once, and then she taught me how to read, and then that's when I learned that reading, it's not so simple. Reading is a tough skill. We sometimes do take it for granted, but wow. And yeah, no, she taught me that the r sound was the hardest sound, and just like, I said r every day of my life. I did not realize how tough it is to say r, but anyway, yeah. So it did not take me long until I found out that I had a calling. As soon as I found out that I had a calling, I started, healing, and I needed to follow my initiation process. So what's going to happen is the second process, that's when I'm going to explain my spiritual journey to everyone, So this is just about what happened before I got called. Yes. One of the questions probably, oh, why me? That's the next question. Like, why me? Like, did you ask yourself why you? Yes, of course. I feel like that's what everyone that's going through a lot of problems asks themselves. I was like, yeah, why me? But I'm here, I'm alive, Sometimes I feel strong, sometimes I don't feel so strong, but yeah. But anyway, so sometimes, I don't care what type of person you are, but God truly gives the strongest of his children the toughest battles. I don't know if I'm making sense. So yeah, so I just feel like I'm so strong, like I'm super strong. But I did ask why me. I did ask why did I have a calling, why me? There's so many people in the family, but anyway, I did cry. I cried a lot. The good thing about me is that I cry, Shem. I really cry. Not now. I just cry for literally 2 seconds. I'm just like, why am I crying? But anyway, I used to cry a lot. So it helped to calm me down and helped whatever I was feeling in my heart. I would just get out. I would let it out by crying. So I did cry. I did cry a whole lot of times. Who were your biggest supporters throughout your recovery? Okay, I need to speak about my husband because he's a medical doctor. He's the one that really found out that I had a stroke, and he's the one that pushed for me to get the results on time, for them to discover that it's a stroke and then they could act fast. So it's him that really had my back. And my whole family, my mom, and my manager as well. And yeah, everyone was literally on all hands on deck when it came to me when I was really falling sick. Even my kids, and even my nanny as well, who literally took care of me when everyone else was doing their stuff, but she stood by me and cooked for me and all of that. But yeah, so my husband, he's the one that really, oh man, he saved me. His name is Khano Subukhudi. Yeah. And yeah, so he's the one that literally had my back the whole time, literally. He had my back. So maybe one of these the episodes or whatever, because I'm gonna really take my YouTube channel seriously, I'll probably just host him one day and ask him how he felt, because I really don't know how he felt. Or maybe I do, I don't know. Maybe I chose to forget because it was so traumatizing. Anyway, what was the hardest part about your journey? Everything, realizing that I need to be initiated, because that meant stepping out of my comfort zone. And it wasn't okay. I'm still healing from that, but no, man, I think that's it. So I will I will talk about most of my spiritual journeys, not just journey, because I had a couple of a journey, but so yeah. So the hardest part of my journey is obviously my speech, obviously my hand, obviously my, what else? Yeah, my spiritual journeys. I think that's the toughest part of it, because now I'm a whole new human being, so I need to adjust to who I am, and that is it's hard. But anyway, did you deal with it? Did you deal with difficulty remembering your family and the people closest to you? Okay, I don't really understand what it means, but I think what it means is that how did it affect my family, I suppose. So I was worried about my kids, obviously. I was worried about my husband. I was worried about my closest people that I'm close to. But everyone really just carried me through, and I believe, and I will say, and I'm sure that they will also vouch for me, that I was really strong throughout this journey. I really was strong, and then they can tell you the same thing. I didn't really need to be babied into this thing. I just had strength that I didn't even know I had. I had so much fight in me that I did not know existed. So yeah, so I don't really think I was a baby about it, actually. But yeah, but it did affect me somehow. I mean, my son taught me how to read. He taught me how to read, and I was the one teaching him how to read. Imagine. The marathon. The marathon. Yes. Yeah. So it was like, I don't know what that was, but I'm just like, I can't believe it, but anyway, okay, so you guys can comment, and you guys can ask me questions about this video that you see, And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that it was enlightening to you and it was interesting for you. And I hope that it inspires whoever, whether it's like through sicknesses or whatever turmoil that you could be going through. I really hope that it just, I don't know, just get inspired, man. I'm here, I'm living, and I'm healthy. So yeah, I just hope that everyone just gets inspired by this, because I know that I have friends, but I doubt that they even know this part of my journey. So I'm gonna tell you much more. And yeah, please just comment and ask your questions, or if you just say, okay, oh, I found this so interesting, you can say that, or whatever you need to say. Just comment, and I will engage with each and every one of you, and that is a promise. Please do subscribe, like, and comment. And yeah, I think this is the end. Thank you so much. A journey full of mistakes.